Seal to Silver coming for you. Con gameplay, storie e review, la noia non c'è più. Dai, tuffati anche tu nel mondo di Sion.
Since the Netherbrain fell, you and Shadowheart have seen more of Faerun than you ever thought possible. She no longer shies from wolves or water. Nothing in the world frightens her anymore. And you feel you could face anything by her side. One day, you receive a letter passed to you by a stranger who bows with deference. An invitation to a gathering of the friends and allies who stood by your side in the fight against the Absolute. You waste no time in packing and set off on the long road back to where all of your adventures together began.
Thou wert called here, some from above, some below. For with thine bond, together thou hast kept the wheel of fate spinning when it threatened to halt. Though thou wert drawn far apart in the months after the collapse of the Absolute, tonight, fate renews thy bond once more. Thou shouldst take care to preserve it. It is a great weapon wielded in the hand of good. Go. Know one another once more.
Allora ragazzi, salve a tutti e bentornati sul mio canale. Siamo nel nostro epilogo, quindi non so cosa accadrà adesso. C'è stato un salvataggio automatico, come avete visto. Ecco qui, cosa stai dicendo di Bu? Allora, con chi dobbiamo parlare sostanzialmente? Con l'Avvizzito? Avvizzito? Dove stai andando? Quindi siamo ancora al nostro vecchio accampamento, come vedete.
This one night is like any other, and yet different. Thou art the savior of Baldur's Gate, until such time it requires saving again. How dost thou feel?
Allora, ho fatto il mio dovere, né più né meno.
Thou givest thyself so little credit. The duty borne by you was great. You could have well shirked. Thou gavest what it was possible to give. The realm continues for your sacrifices. Enjoy the revelry of the day. Thou deservest at least that much.
Suppongo che farò ritorno ai festeggiamenti. Ok, quindi dobbiamo parlare con l'Avvizzito per terminare questa parte di gioco. Quindi fatemi vedere un attimo se abbiamo un addio appropriato. Partecipare al raduno di Avvizzito. Ok, dovrei scoprire cosa hanno fatto tutti quanti. Quindi qui missioni completate. Proprio questo è l'endgame, ragazzi, c'è proprio il climax. Potremmo parlare un po' con tutti. Astarion?
Well, look who decided to turn up. I wasn't sure our withered old friend could live up to his promise. But here we are. And you're looking more delicious than ever, if you don't mind me saying. Whatever you've been doing with your time, it clearly worked wonders.
Perché non li ho passati da solo? La compagnia della mia metà è stata una benedizione.
Love is a powerful tonic. And where better to celebrate our good fortune? An old haunt with old friends.
Sempre felici in effetti. Allora, cosa hai fatto dall'ultima volta che ci siamo visti?
I've taken a turn as adventurer and hero.
Siamo cambiati a Astarion proprio.
As long as you murder the right people and apparently I'm rather good at it.
Uno dei buoni, chi avrebbe mai detto?
Let's not get carried away, darling. I'm still me. Perhaps more me than I've ever been.
Ti manca camminare alla luce del sole?
I did at first. But then I realized these shadows, this darkness, it's all a part of me. I spent too long defined by what other people did to me, the choices other people made for me. But that's over now. This is who I am, in all my glory, for better and for worse.
Sono felice di sentirtelo dire. Dall'accettazione arrivano sempre molti momenti positivi.
But that being said, I haven't completely given up on returning to the sun. If the opportunity presented itself, well, I wouldn't say no. But until then, I am happy. We've had quite the journey, you and I.
Veramente, Astario, veramente un bel viaggio insieme.
I knew you were someone special. Someone to take on the world with.
Dal primo momento che ti ho minacciato, mi sembra giusto.
But then again, maybe this isn't goodbye. So much as it's
Arrivederci.
see you later, darling.
Ok. Karlak, che mi dici?
Oh shit. Oh my god. He wasn't kidding. Witness, you mad bastard! You brought me back! Soldier. It's really you. I've missed you, man. Like, I've really missed you. And you're so clean.
Come vanno le cose? Anche tu mi sei mancata.
I'd say so. Can't think of who's been carrying your pack now that Kay's out of commission. Man, we had some good times. Wish Will and I had more time to reminisce, but surviving Avernus is just non-stop. Still, having him there has been incredible. You really can get through anything with someone.
Ah, si sono messi assieme lei e Will.
Oh, but hey, guess what we found? Cambion dropped a map with directions and blueprints for Zariel's own private forge. A fucking forge! Our current plan is to get in, grab a smith, and force him to fix old Rusty. Or maybe give me a brand new model that can live outside of Avernus. You haven't seen the last of old Karlak yet, soldier.
Sono così felice di sapere che potresti essere in grado di riparare il tuo cuore. Devi essere così eccitata.
Trying not to count my owlbears before they've hatched. But the thought of coming back to Baldur's Gate keeps me going. Can I look you up when I'm out?
Ti conviene o ti do la caccia io stesso?
Hey, that would be kind of fun though. High stakes hide and seek. Honestly, I'd be curious to see if you could land a blow or two. Gods, is it good to see you again. To be here together. Hard not to get used to it all over again. This won't be the last time. I promise.
Ok, con chi possiamo parlare? C'è Jehira.
Well now, you can make yourself presentable when you have a mind to.
Beh, almeno uno di noi due le ha.
Oh, forgive me. I am simply excitable. It is good to be out under an open sky once more. My first, since the reconstruction began. We left quite a mess behind. But the city begins to look something like itself once more. Same twisting alleys for purse pickers. Same wooden buildings ready to get burnt by next year's dragon. Same cisterns overflowing. Huh.
Balduriano. Alla fine è solo una città, ma è la nostra città. Non cambierei nulla.
Baldurians simply get on with it. Stubbornness, civic spirit, plain stupidity. Perhaps all three. But nothing I will sniff at any longer. Harpers have come from half the world over to lend aid. Farmers, masons, healers. My own son, Jord, has been wooed to their ranks. Already he plans crop cycles in Worm's Crossing. Not so for my daughter. Ryan's rejoined the Flaming Fist. Temporarily, you understand. To organize the craftsmen. Though she spends more time locking up comrades for pocketing aid funds. They might learn a thing or two if they don't expel her. Again.
Sembra che vada tutto per il meglio, ma cosa mi dici di te? Voglio sapere cosa hai fatto dall'ultima volta che ci siamo visti.
There is still much to do. People to house. A Harper network to rebuild. I may have little love for this city, but so long as my family chooses to serve it, I can do no less. For all your travels, I hope you have arrived where you want to be. Home. Whatever that means to you.
Il luogo in cui ci troviamo ora è questo accampamento è la mia casa, anche quando mi trovo a miglia e miglia di distanza.
Ah, sentiment. With the greatest affection, I can think of better ways to sour our stomachs. I must inspect the refreshments. You'll never know. Some ne'er-do-well might have tampered with the wine.
Allora, lasceremo Cuorescuro per ultimo come personaggio con cui parlare. Abbiamo Minsk, questo chi è? Felicio Orson.
Ah, breathe deep, Boo. The smell of heroes sings from every stone in this place. Ah, to meet again where your journey began, my friend. An honor. For Minsk and his hamster both. Oh, and for Happy also.
Chi è?
Yes.
Buongiorno Felicio, anzi buonasera. Bello rivederti Minsk. Anche te, Bu e Felicio?
See how your very presence snatches the breath from his chest? And it is no wonder. It is just this day that Happy learned of your legend, while we gazed down upon the very city you saved.
He dangled me from the high hall, upside down, for 2 hours.
The guild should not go creeping in high places if they do not have the stomach for them, hmm? It is well for Happy the strange portal appeared when it did. Minsk's arm was growing achsome.
Allora, sono felice che tu sia venuto, è passato troppo tempo.
That it has. Minsk once idled away a century in stone, but he and Boo have been busy in these months since we parted. 9 Fingers forbade any looting of the Illithid's fleshy vessels, and so Minsk guards what remains of the battle site, even from her. But where Minsk might once have thrown any sneaking scoundrels from the tower top, now I tell them of you. How you ruled the wickedness within. How they might do the same.
Yes, I'll rule it. I'll be better.
Non è che dobbiamo andare tutti a sconfiggere Assoluta, eh? Ne è bastata una di Assoluta.
Oh God.
But enough, my friend! I cannot tell your tale if I do not know the whole of it. Minsk and Boo would know where you have been, what you have done.
Mi sono limitato a vivere la mia vita e ora ho trovato qualcuno con cui viverla.
The lovebirds still nest together then? Minsk is glad. For what is life without a companion? Though I am thinking yours does not sit on your shoulders, eh? Ah, you are right, Boo. That is none of Minsk's business. Now, Halfling, Boo will not have you embarrassing him in front of his friends. So you ought to know the rest of the company you keep. Will Ravengard, the Blade of Frontiers, Devil Horde, and Angel Hearted. Lae'zel of Killer, true child of Gith, and true friend to Boo. Though she will and say it is not so. Astarion, who is banished by the sun itself for fear his Spanish soul might outshine it. We visit him much down in the dark places, though he often moves his lair without remembering to tell Minsk where. Gale, the man who would be a god, but then thought better of it. Boo thinks better of him for it too.
Quanto parla Minsk, ragazzi, veramente.
Dogged at her soul, but she managed to keep it all for herself in the end. Wait, Boo, did she do something with her hair? And there, the champion of the hells herself, Karlach Demon's Bane, Devil's Bane, Merkul Ball and Bane. Once the guild is made of good nymphs once more, Bull shall scratch the hells wide open and find a way to bring her back. And finally, Jahira. If this is a name you do not already know, then not even Boo can save you. Study them well, sneak thief, for the best among them will be a guide for your guild. Heroes who put the city before themselves, who never falter in their duty, and more than this, who never arrive to a party without even a gift for the host.
But wait!
Go, my friend. Be among our friends. There is much work yet to be done before this one is fit to join them.
Ok. Andiamo a vedere chi c'è qui. Jehiran, ci abbiamo parlato. Karlach, ci abbiamo parlato. Starion, ci abbiamo parlato. Là c'è c'è Lae'zel. È una proiezione astrale di Lae'zel.
Old friend. For 2 months I trained the Knights of the Comet. For 2 more I skewered Kithraki bellies. And for 2 more yet I traveled through limbo.
Quindi è passato del tempo, gente.
It brings me even more pleasure than taking a royal inquisitor's head.
Limbo, she'd said. A plane of chaos where you might drink fire like water, where you might breathe ice instead of air, and the home of the mystical Githzerai.
I Githzerai.
Once the Githzerai were one of the Githyanki, until bloody civil war severed them.
È sempre bello vederti.
It's nice to hear it. It's taken a dozen Gish's talents, a few stolen psi crystals, and 2
È comunque tornata tra le stelle, diciamo.
Worth it, I'd say. I miss this place. This Fey Run.
In che luogo ti trovi adesso che non ti consente di essere qui in carne e ossa?
Shraktalor. You recall the name. The capital city of the Githzerai. And the home of their immortal godkin.
Nome più facile, no, eh?
Our Gish sent word of the rebellion to Minyara-Gith through the cosmos. He's agreed to parlare. It's fallen to me to secure an alliance.
Beh, è una bella cosa che lei ha guidato i Githyanki e sta rifacendo fare alleanza con i Githzerai. Allora, vediamo. La scelta migliore per questo compito. La lingua istruita quanto la tua lama.
My blade is keen as ever. But it was you who showed me that a proper victory doesn't always require a razor-sharp edge. Sometimes, a sincere plea is more persuasive than a dagger against the neck. Minyara-Gith is an ascetic. He reached out in good faith. This is his way. It is in this spirit that I must meet him. And if he refuses, I carry on. Gravity pulls me in but one direction. I am a warrior of the comet. I will not rest until I burn Vlaakith's bones to ash and smash her phylactery to pieces.
Brava Lae'zel.
People will be free.
Sempre bella convinta, eh?
But you've heard that refrain before. Zealous, bossy, insistent. All part and parcel of my undeniable charm.
Buona fortuna. Quando potremo rivederci?
When the comet has risen. When the
Vabbè, ci vorrà un po' allora, dai.
I miss this place. More to the point, I missed you. I'll be back one day. The Overgod himself couldn't keep me away.
Ao è padre di tutti gli dei, eh? Ok. Qui abbiamo Gale.
Well, well. Look what the Tressim dragged in. Professor Gale Decarius of Blackstaff Academy.
Ah, di Kai Ben Aronson. È andato a Waterdeep e è diventato professore. Abbraccialo. Ed ecco con la sua gatta Gale.
Well, that was quite lovely. I'm glad you're as pleased to see me as I am you. I have to say, I'm quite grateful to just be Gale for the evening. I fear my students find me somewhat intimidating due to my, explosive former reputation. I seem to put the fear of the gods into them. Or the fear of Mystra, to be more specific. I surrendered the crown of Carsus to her, as I told you I would.
Ah, ok. Ha trovato la corona nel fiume, Cionta.
Even now I struggle to put the feelings into words. It was like exhaling for the first time.
Infatti vedete che non ha più il tatuaggio della trama sul collo.
Of course, I haven't clarified with my students that the orb is no longer a threat. The legend of my explosive capabilities is an excellent means of controlling a classroom. Too good, if anything. I spend most of my time trying to convince them how much fun the study of magic can be. But it'd be easier to crack a smile on an intellect devourer than some of my pupils.
Allora, vediamo. Posso dire per esperienza che sei un insegnante eccellente. Ricordate la lezione che c'era stata?
It was at that moment, the weave connecting us, that I realized how much your friendship had come to mean to me. As it still does.
Qui potevamo anche fare la romance con lui, ma non era mio interesse.
Not like my present cohort of apprentices. Oh, they try their best, of course, when they can manage to stay awake.
The cheek of them! Nothing a well-placed swipe from Tara can't fix, though.
And what of you? What are you making of this newfound lease of life we earned?
Paladino. Ho seguito il percorso del mio giuramento, che il mio giuramento ovviamente mi ha indicato. I miei dettami sono sempre al primo posto, così come la mia promessa di aiutare coloro che essi proteggono.
From you, I'd expect nothing less. I've told my students plenty of tales about our escapades. You're something of a hero to them, you know? I'll be delighted to introduce you to my current cohort as a guest lecturer, perhaps. I'm sure they'd have plenty of questions for you.
Certo, forse la disciplina del mio giuramento vi aiuterà ad evitare percorsi sbagliati che riattirano i meno virtuosi della tua categoria.
I, for one, can't wait. And I say with some confidence, neither can they. Of course, you'll be most welcome to stay with me in my tower. My apologies, Tara. That would be our tower.
Non sia mai, dire una cosa ad un gatto.
It will give us plenty of time to catch up on your adventures. I'm very curious to know what you've been up to these past months. But I suspect the telling of that tale would keep you tied to me all evening. So, in the spirit of selflessness, I encourage you to mix and mingle for now, with time enough to come.
Ok, allora, lì c'è un orso gufo. Ah, il cucciolo di orso gufo che è diventato grosso. Beh ragazzi, ma ce l'abbiamo ancora il parlare con gli animali, la pozione di parlare con gli animali? No, non ce l'abbiamo più, peccato. Vabbè. Volo, tu manchi all'appello, vieni qua.
Ah, my dear friend, it's been an age, has it not? You're looking very well indeed. Our skeletal friend will be very pleased to see I found my way here, despite my invitation getting lost in the post.
È un piacere vederti volo. Come stai?
Busy as ever. Better that than the reverse, wouldn't you say? Every major publishing house on the Sword Coast has been vying for my upcoming book on the subject of our adventures together. I've gotten quite good at replicating your signature, so you needn't even bother with the release form.
Che falsifica, fantastico.
I'm considering the hero and me. What do you think?
L'eroe e le sue gesta, non sarebbe più chiaro?
Me? It's all Volo as far as I'm concerned. Perhaps, once the manuscript is finished, you'd even be willing to write a foreword? Or better yet, I'll write a draft and you can just sign your name. Better still, I'll sign it for you. Your success really has been wonderful for my reputation. But you mustn't let me hog your attention all night, my friend. You've many friends to chat to, and I'd love to listen in.
Con Volo l'abbiamo. Che sta facendo Misk? Sta mangiando come un pork. Non trovo Will. Qui c'è Cuorescuro. Qui c'è il nostro cucciolo di orso gufo. Cucciolo, mica tanto cucciolo, ragazzi. Diventato grosso da paura. Qui c'è Graffio. Ci ha riportato il prisma. Graffio, vieni qui, bello.
A familiar invitation. He wants you to throw the object he's dropped.
È il prisma astrale.
It's the astral prism.
Sono felice che Avvizzito si è ricordato di inventare il mio cagnolone preferito.
Scratch barks merrily in something like agreement.
Dove diavolo l'hai trovato?
He whines. Less talk, more throw.
Termina la conversazione. Ok. Allora, Will, ecco qua Will. E poi dopo di lui parliamo con Cuorescuro.
Breathe deep. Can you smell it?
Vabbè. È andata, ragazzi. Forse l'ultimo tiro della campagna è andato.
Take in every scent the night breeze carries. Sweet honeysuckle, tender violets, and an earthy fragrance you can't quite recognize.
Sento odore di fiori profumati, una nota misteriosa che non riesco a identificare.
Forest trees draped in moss. Bittersweet, smoky, and that faintest hint of vanilla. A far cry from the rancid Avernus heat that's been clogging my lungs. I swear, Karlach and I have felled enough Cambions to build a fortress with their horns. Who'd have thought that just one of those fiends held the key to escaping Avernus for good? One of them sported a map and some blueprints. If you want all the gory details, Karlach can fill you in.
E Misora, che ruolo hai in tutto? Mi è mancato viaggiare con te. Averti attorno era un vero piacere.
You too. The rush of battles we fought, the heart-to-hearts, the nights around the fire, the comfort of knowing I didn't face the unknown alone. If I had to do it all over again, and I'd rather not, to be clear, I can't imagine not having you at my side.
E Misora, che ruolo ha avuto?
She's kept me on a long leash, if you can believe it. Every target she's set me on's been a demonic intruder. Tenari assassins who slip into Avernus, Armonites that amass near the Styx. My next target's the most challenging yet, or so she says. I don't know much more, only that it's no demon, but a devil. I'm not worried. Not when Karlach's got my back. I swear she could scare the eyes off a beholder.
Sei riuscito a trovare il tempo per far visita a tuo padre?
I've seen him more than a few times, and he's as proud of me as I am of him.
He's leading the city's renewal, opened the gates to all newcomers, rebuilt the council from scratch. And he's back in his element, commanding the flaming fist with brave heart and no shortage of empathy. The likes of Gortash can bend people's minds with a few chosen words. No tadpole needed. Bane's chosen primed the fist for a war they weren't meant to win. He convinced them there was an assassin hiding in every shadow, that cruelty was the correct answer to crisis. With a few exceptions, fathers pardoned every last fist. If my forgiveness not be Tyr's will, so be it. I shall forgive them all the same. His words, not mine. He still believes in the bow and the blade, but he's teaching the fist a new lesson.
Termina la conversazione.
That's enough hell talk for the moment. The night's young. You shouldn't go wasting it. Or wasting any of the wine for that matter. I plan on downing half a bottle myself. Oh, did I say half a bottle? I meant half a dozen.
Ok, andiamo a parlare con Cuorescuro che abbiamo vista qua. Dicevo cucciolo, no, ma a corso gufo possiamo parlarci. Accarezzo. È diventato un po' grossino, eh? C'è! È bello rivederti.
He looks coyly at the ground, suddenly
Cuccio.
shy.
Cosa hai fatto l'ultima volta che ci siamo visti?
Snaps the air and wiggles. He's either miming fighting a many-limbed creature or dancing. It's unclear. He is, however, exhausted. He's had plenty of adventures without you.
Riposati un po'. Credo che qualcuno debba prendersi cura di te. Che ne dici di stare con me, Cuorescuro? Un animaletto da casa tranquillo, eh?
The joy in the owlbear's eyes is clear. He longs for a home and would love to stay.
Immagino che mangi anche poco. Andiamo a dare la bella notizia.
I didn't expect to be nervous. But seeing everyone here like this, it's strange, isn't it? I feel like I must have dreamed the last few months. Now I'm waking up back in camp with my hair smelling like wood smoke and fallen leaves stuck to my backside.
Allora. Il tuo sedere sta benissimo, ho controllato più volte.
Oh, I've noticed. Ever since I first slipped into my camp garments, I should think.
Beh sì, diciamo di sì.
We should divvy up what we tell people about what we've been doing these past few months. I'd hate to be a bore that comes along and regurgitates the same story to someone moments after you've told them. Any ideas?
Sono tuo complice in tutto e per tutto. Cosa pensi che valga la pena raccontare?
Well, there's the visit to the House of the Moon, fending off Sharan assassins. That stray imp that joined us. Bing bong, wasn't it? We've squeezed in a lot. And I'm glad I got to share it all with you. I'm sure we'll have them hanging off our every word. I'll leave you to do some mingling, unless you need anything else.
Quello di cui ho bisogno è un bacio.
That can be arranged. Almost a shame we're with company. I'd be tempted to let you whisk me away someplace quiet.
Alla fine della serata.
Why? Are you expecting to be gone for long? All right. I could get lost in those arms. With music in the air and wine flowing, I think I'll manage. Don't get into trouble, but if you must, fetch me first.
Ok, andiamo a dire ad Avvizzito che abbiamo parlato con tutti. Abbiamo esplorato tutti i dialoghi, penso, non mi sembra di aver dimenticato nessuno, se ho dimenticato qualcuno, pardon, mi spiace. Ed ecco qua.
Yes.
Ho già passato... Cosa succederà adesso?
What indeed? Prick up thy ears and listen. The balance of the world restored. The balance of these lives, mortal and otherwise, brought to account. Hear me, thou heroes, wastrels, friends. I have waited long to tell you these words. It is over. For now. Thou played thy part in weaving the fabric of fate itself, but for every thread you sewed, so did the gods unravel another. Sleep, rest, revel, but be ready, for thou mayst yet be needed. Until we meet again, I wish thee every possible fortune, health, wealth, love, and above all, problems worth solving.
Ai più grandi amici che potessi sognare. A voi.
To you. There thou art, the dead three. Thy faces gods, thy actions barely worthy of the name. Didst truly believe thy ploy would succeed? Didst believe I would not notice? Thou sought to bolster thy strength by taking away the souls of mortals. But souls vanish when their hosts become mind flayers. Didst think the other gods would not notice? Gods thou may be, yet thou hast proven thyself fools. Everyone. The supplication of Bane, the whimper of Baal, the death mule of Merkel. Felled by mortals. I overestimated thee. They did not. Vermin, away. Thou wilt trouble us no more.